I'm in JBC, finally back to see my second apartment handover. Check out the snagging. Now, what's beautiful about this unit, and I've been telling everybody, is first of all, the quality. It's Aurora H3, and the fact that it's right across the street from the mall. So they finally finished construction, and now we get a chance to go inside and take a look and get an idea, you know, what the internal is. I would say it's high quality opportunity. So that's why I'm coming here to take a look at it. So this kind of gives you that scope of the outside. All right, we're gonna take a quick look at the gym. So it's gonna be on the first floor. Man, I mean, what a good job. Look at the machinery and the equipment. It is just, I mean, these are the details that people want. This is, you know, you got a view of the pool, you got an outdoor space for like CrossFit sort of workout, pull-ups over there. And you could tell the machines are good quality. These are very good quality machine. And so if I'm an investor and I'm looking at this from a tenant, this is something a tenant would appreciate. And it looks like there's some more space over there for just general workout dumbbells. We're in the kids club, small dedicated area. But what I would say is it's enough to keep, you know, the younger kids occupied. So the fact that they have offered it, I think is really a good addition. Outside, we're gonna go take a look at the pool. You can see there's some units on the left. You know, the earlier units we looked, there was a view from up there, and there's the pool. Really nice. And that gives you an idea. I think there's 140 units in the building, 5 floors. And like I said, good location. Take a quick look into the elevator. You see big elevator, nice design. And then the seating area. This is the main entrance. Very nice. Really nice design.
How many units is the building have?
I think it's like
145.
45. Okay.
All one bedroom?
No, there's 2 bedrooms, there's studio. Here's a quick view. Again, this is for Hayati 3. Here's the corridor. And the first thing you see when you come in is this open area. As you walk in, on your right, you get a study room, which is a really good size. And then the powder room on the left, or the right, I'm sorry. And then an open space living area. I think they did a good job when it comes to the light fixtures. Here's the kitchen layout, appliances included. And this is the difference between your run-of-the-mill developer and a high-quality developer. And look at these huge windows. You don't get those size windows in you know, most apartments. And then the finishing, the wood touch, the color scheme, the light, they just did really well. And then right into the master, you get a beautiful light fixture, built-in closets with mirrors, and then access onto the terrace. You can see the mall over there, and then on your right is this side street. The balcony runs the entire length of the unit. And then if we walk back in, high ceilings and the master bathroom. So just a really nice unit, good use of colors, good use of layout and design, and using the best use of the space. Let me know if you think this is an interesting opportunity or not. All right, this is unit number 2, first floor. Let's take a look. So a little different layout, but same essentially when it comes to the study, the kitchen, built-in appliances, open layout, just a different view. But literally next door for you know, when you compare it to the first unit. And then master, again, same size, just a little bit of a different view. And then you can see the cover space. And then the master bathroom. Unit number 2 on the first floor. All right, let's go take a look at some other units. All right, second floor unit. What's the difference here? Pool facing. All right, let's take a look. So again, same layout. Study on the left, open kitchen. But what is the difference is your view. So you got the powder room, same powder room. But look at that. Now you have access to the pool. You got a pool view. So this one's a little more expensive, but I would say, depending on your preference, you'd want to go with this unit, you know? I'm like, from the perspective of a landlord, if I own this, maybe go with this unit. The downside is it might be a little noisy, right? So that's one. But you get a more airy feel to it, right? Because you get natural light coming into the unit. And then here's the master. It's a little bit on the corner, so still views of the pool. Some people might like that, some people might not. And then you got the master. Same setup. Good looking, really clean. All right, let's go now, drum roll. Let's go take a look at my unit, second floor. We're gonna look at my unit. You know, was it a good decision or a bad? That's another thing about, you know, when you buy off plan, you're buying a dream. You don't know what it's gonna look like, right? It's like you're hoping that it's gonna turn out what you believe it would be. So let's go take a look at what I got. All right, moving in. This is a unit facing the mall, right? Same layout. I have the study here. You get it more light, right? But it's a different setup. So it's gonna be a larger balcony space. And this is the view you get of the mall. So it's kind of a city view. And I don't mind it, you know? And the question is, can I hear anything when I close the door? No, you don't. Not a lot of noise. So that's one element. And then here's the master. The one difference in this unit is it does not have an extended balcony here. So it's a smaller balcony, but I also pay less than Diwa because I'm not paying as much. Good thing is it's pretty well insulated. I don't hear a lot of noise. And here's the master. Yeah, all in all, I would say I'm happy with the unit. I think it was a good purchase, and I think long-term it will be a great investment. All right, let's take a look at the 2 bedrooms and the layout. These are gonna be a little larger, you know, at 1,250 square feet on average. So you can see, same open layout. This is on the second floor. Same view. You get, I think, still one balcony, but this one's right in front of the entrance of the mall. So yeah, you get a balcony over there. So this is your view. Interesting. All right. Okay. And then powder, a little bigger than what we saw in the 1 bedrooms. Study. And then here's the first bedroom. Very nice. And then the master, look at this. It's a lot bigger. It's got its own balcony. And then, but you know, the selling point is really the master bathroom. Look at that, just really large. And you got a double vanity and a shower. So it is just super, super nice. And again, where is the benefit here? Why am I saying that this is such a good opportunity? Because you don't need to go anywhere. You know, you need something, go right across the street. So the convenience from a rental is just unmatched, you know? And that's probably why I would say from an investment perspective, you buy this and you just keep it, you know? You keep it, you always rent it out, and you always have someone available that's gonna be willing to really rent this out because of convenience, always. And the other thing too, future Metro, it's gonna be a walking distance. Exit, right to your right over here, you know, from JVC, is right across there. So this is one of the most centrally located apartment buildings in JVC and one of the highest quality apartments that you can buy. So my regret, I didn't buy more off plan. I should have bought more, you know, but who would have known? No crystal ball. Second 2-bedroom unit. This is also on the second floor. This is priced a little less. Now, what's nice about this, it's right next to the elevator. So that's convenient. Walk in, same sort of layout, open kitchen. Not the best view. You got yellow billboard right there, which is probably why they're asking a little less. And then you walk in, to your right, you have the powder, maid's room, study. And then you got the first bedroom. You got a massive balcony, which could be interesting for people who want to do some people watching. And then you got this deep master. Let's go take a look at what the views are. All right, look at that, massive balcony. And finally, giant master. Get the tub and you get the shower. Really nice. Really nice, you know, they did a great job. I'm really impressed. Here's our last stop. We're at the 5th floor and you're gonna have to do some walking to get to this unit. This one's a little more expensive, same sort of layout, study, powder. Everything's the same except your view. So this gives you a little more privacy because you're on the 5th floor and you've got a, you know, view to the pool, so that's nice. I don't know what the future of that view is gonna look like because there's probably gonna be building a tower in that corner over there. So for me, would I pay a premium? Possibly, you know, it just depends. You know, for end use, maybe, but as a investor, probably not. I don't think it's, you know, that difference in price is worth it for me. Man, after seeing the 2-bedroom master, it's like, you know, you see the value of the 2-bedroom. All right, that's it for today.